have strategic planning process. This is still the same as what you've always had. Environmental scanning is usually the first step. You want to make sure that you scan the environment just like it sounds like, have a survey, systematic survey, and gather data from that environment in which the business operates. Now, this could be internal information as well as external information. But for these exams, I want you to think of it mainly from an external perspective, external data. So you want to identify external opportunities and threats and just information about things going on in that business's industry or occurrences that would impact that business as it decides to put together a strategic plan. So you want to utilize the tools of environmental scanning, SWOT analysis, and we'll talk about this more. SWOT analysis. I just want to say two things about the SWOT analysis. When it comes to strengths and weaknesses, those are internal to the organization, from within the organization. When it comes to opportunities and threats, those are from without the organization, from outside the organization. For example, a new competitor would be a threat for an organization. And if for some reason the government decides to provide opportunities for businesses to get loans or to get low interest rates in that particular industry, that could be an opportunity for that organization. But notice that it's coming from outside the organization and not from inside, unlike the strengths or weaknesses. And so if you have high turnover, that would be a weakness. And if you have employees that have expertise in their field, that would be a strength. Okay, then we have pestle analysis, which we'll talk about, then Porter's 5 forces as well. Now then you go to strategy formulation, and with this, you have I just feel like green is a better color than black. All right, so you have strategy formulation, in which you decide what's the vision, what's the mission of the organization. And all of this is being informed by this information that you gathered from the environmental scanning. So you then decide what's your vision, what's your mission, what are your goals, what are your values. All of those are determined in the strategy formulation phase. Then you go to strategy implementation. And right here, you want to start implementing that strategy. So even though now you've put together your corporate goals, which are quite broad, you then want to cascade that down. You want to break that down for each function for their business units, for their teams. So this is the phase where you have short-term objectives, where you have tactical goals, you have action plans to achieve the objectives, you develop those, resources are allocated, which is of the organizing function, right? When we start talking about planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. And then you focus on motivating employees, which is a leading function, right? In planning, organizing, leading, controlling the management functions. So you do all of those things to achieve the plan. Key thing to remember with strategy implementation is you're cascading those goals to the functions, to the departments, to the units, to the teams. So they have their own objectives, their own tactics, action plans that are put in place, that are being put in operation so you can achieve the overall strategy. Okay, then you have strategy evaluation. In this stage, what is happening is you want to review what you've been doing. So you want to check through the objectives and the performance and measure the performance, measure what is being done, see if there's any corrective action that needs to be taken, any adjustments that needs to be made. It might even be that there are changes happening in the business environment. A good example is artificial intelligence, which is disrupting the entire industries of business across industries, across businesses. AI is impacting every industry. And so there might be a need for adjustment as you begin to realize that AI is is coming in different areas of the business or the functions. There might be adjustments even to the strategy that was planned, and that's why evaluation has to happen on a consistent basis. It shouldn't happen at the end of implementation. It should be consistent because as the business world is subject to change, it's volatile, it's uncertain, there's a constant change happening, then strategy evaluation is even much more important in terms of being consistently done over time. So that's what I'll say about this. Strategy evaluation is not just a one-time thing done at the end of implementation. It should be a consistent loop that is going on, the strategies are being reviewed, the operations are being measured, adjustments are being made as changes happen.